Hey, I want to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Innovation Podcast, your source for all things innovation. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Tomas Milar on the line. He's founder over at Eqvista. Tomas, welcome to the show.
Hi, everyone.
So, Tomas, excited to have you on the show today. So we're going to talk about issuing and managing company shares. But before we get into that, tell us a little bit more about your company, Eqvista.
Well, I started a company, Startup Our Hong Kong Limited back in 2011. It was just me and a laptop. And later on, we set up several companies. We sold them. Then we acquired a few companies in the United States. And then we started Eqvista. We've actually been managing company shares for many, many, many years. But we didn't really have our own tool. And since we had our own IT team and marketing team, so it was very easy for us actually to pull up the team and set up Eqvista team. We knew technically every aspect of company formation, managing and issuing shares. So it was for us quite easy start. So that happened 3 years ago, and Eqvista is growing rapidly. We have no investment. We have no related party who just tell us what we should do and what we shouldn't. So we have a pretty straightforward model. We listen to our clients, and we prioritize the task, and that's actually what we do.
I love it. And what a great story. So you were already in the business, you're doing it, using it, and then you decided, why don't we develop our own technology? Why don't we become more of a full-service business overall to your clients? And I'm sure they appreciate it because now it's an end-to-end solution. So I think it's awesome. So, Tomas, at the end of this, I'm going to give you the opportunity to leave contact information so that companies and executives that want to learn more about Eqvista can connect with you and your team. But before I do that, what are the right types of companies and or clients that are typically a good fit for Eqvista?
Well, we are actually more focused on early stage startups because we like to take clients on board through our freemium. So we have a freemium model where you sign up for free at the beginning, and as your company grows, we will start charging you little fees, and that's actually how we manage our portfolio of clients.
That's awesome. I'm a big fan of the freemium model. To give the little guys, give us startups a shot in the beginning, and we're happy to pay you as we grow. So I love it. I think you're doing a great service.
You're absolutely right. There is definitely competition out there, but I think they didn't really understand the market. I think it's always better to start, especially in the software as a service. We start with a freemium. People can log in, they can test the service, they can play around, they send you a few emails, you reply, they build up the trust, and that's how we can actually manage to grow month to month 200, 300 clients every month without any sales team or any huge marketing strategy. That's actually what we've been doing.
Yeah, that is amazing. I love to hear this story. So, speaking of, so let's jump into today's topic a little bit further. So, issuing and managing company shares. Tell us a little bit more about the service and what you do.
Well, so technically, if you start your company, you always have to issue shares. That's by law. That's by law what every single founder or corporation must do. So once you start your company, then you need to issue shares. Since we have been in the incorporation business for more than 20 years, we know that most of the startups, they neglect the issuance of the shares. So that's actually what we are focused most. So you start a company, you issue shares to founders, you create a pool of shares. Then you move on equity stock option plans for employees, and along the way you start onboarding investors, and that's actually where the fun for the cap table management system starts. So you will get robust shareholder structure, and most of the clients, they would manage it over the email or different notes or Excel sheets, and that's not actually scalable. So technically you are supposed to have a precise model, a financial model, where you can see how the shares are diluted, how the company structure changes along the time. Because, at the beginning, you have 2 founders, right? Or 3 founders, 4 founders. Every of you owns a piece of the company. But, as you are getting bigger and bigger, you're raising more and more funds, your shares are getting smaller because you share the pie with another parties, and that's actually where the Eqvista is very helpful. So we can actually tell you, hey, look, that's actually how you should keep your company structure. That's actually how you should manage your company shares. So, for instance, equity stock option plans, it's a huge unknown for most of the founders. All the terminologies, and all the aspects and variables. So what do you do? You don't really have to think about the math behind that. Use Eqvista. You onboard your first employee. So the normal model for tech founders or for tech employees is actually 1 year cliff and 48 months. 48 months period where you're vesting the schedules, where you're vesting the shares over the time. And you might actually download any Excel sheet or any sheet which actually will help you to manage it. But the problem is that the trust. And that's actually what we have. We have our own financial guys on board, and they do all the math. They did all the calculations, and has been proven. So the whole thing becomes much easier when you have a trusted cloud-based platform where you can actually see all the variables and the actual cap table in the cloud solution as Eqvista. Rather than
I love this, and I love this because you essentially made it easy for a lot of these, especially with your model by choosing the freemium models, that you made it easier for a lot of these small businesses to stay in compliance. Because you're right, it does start on just an Excel spreadsheet. It's like, are we going to do this and that? Well, it's just us. It's us 2 or us 3 or us 4, and then you add one little bit of complexity, and you don't really obviously, if you're taking on new funding, that means you're growing or you're trying to grow. I mean, you got a lot of, if you look on the list of your grocery list of things that need to be due, probably ledgering the shares properly and doing some of those certain things might not be number 1, even though it should be for compliance, right? But that being said, it doesn't. It's just, entrepreneurs are moving fast, and it sometimes gets overlooked. So what you're doing here is, especially when people are just starting, is if they start out with you, it sounds to me like it's pretty easy to grow with you too, even no matter how complex it gets down the line.
That's right, and especially with I need to repeat myself, but the freemium model it's amazing. I know that there might be some obstacles on the way, but at least when you start in the company, especially SaaS business, it's really, really difficult to do it wrong. The competitors who actually became more administrators than SaaS company, So SaaS company shouldn't have hundreds of employees, especially, such a platform as we are. Our goal is to have maximum up to 100 employees, fully focus on software and educate the audience. That's actually what we have learned in one of our other ventures when we grow the company practically from zero to amazing profitable company. And what we have done right was just two things: educate clients. The client's education, it's a must, and then the streamline of the compliance processes within the company. So we have done thousands of audits, financial audits of companies, and we're still growing month to month, 10-15%. And this is actually what we have taken on from the other venture: education of clients and streamlined inner processes in your company.
Man, that's awesome. I love it, Tomas. I love what you're doing over here. So you're creating some big win-win situations for your company, obviously, your employees, but also your clients. Your clients are really big winners on this one, so great stuff there. So that being said, Tomas, if somebody's listening to this and they want more information on Eqvista, what's the best way for them to connect with the platform and to learn more?
They can go up to eqvista.com or email me directly, Tom, Tom, @eqvista.com.
Fantastic. Well, Tomas, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background as an entrepreneur and all the great stuff that you're doing over at Eqvista and what company owners and entrepreneurs out there need to be thinking about when it comes to issuing and managing company shares. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave a review in the Apple iTunes store, and if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Innovation, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave us some comments in the video. Love to know what kind of projects and things that you're working on. And Tomas, thanks again for coming on the show.